What's up, guys? I just want to come on here and talk some December dates. We've got a lot of activity going on the month of December, and I don't want to forget things whenever I do the monthlies with you guys, and I don't want to necessarily repeat the same things over and over. I will definitely talk about how these transits affect your individual sign when I do the monthlies, so definitely be on the lookout for that. But this is just like a quick little overview of what we've got coming up in December, okay? So first of all, December 1st, starting right away, we've got Neptune going direct. Neptune has been retrograde since June, I want to say 25th or something. I can't remember the date exactly. But, you know, Neptune is the dreamy planet that governs Pisces energy. So it's really helped us, or you'll notice that it will help us kind of weed out the illusions and where things weren't exactly true, or where like people seemed fake, and you know, so we can let it go and basically free up more space and have more room for those strong relationships that do matter. So there might have been a lot of shifting in terms of your friendships, in terms of your romantic relationships at this time. And so now we've got Neptune finally going direct, okay? So it's been a long retrograde, but this is really, really good. Like I said in a lot of your videos last month, because Scorpio season is all about that death and transformative energy. Whatever leads your life at this moment, at this time, it's like it was probably supposed to, okay? So that's December 1st. December 4th, let's see, we've got the new moon, the solar eclipse, new moon in Sagittarius, okay? Eclipses are big deals, especially solar eclipses. They're always connected to new moon, so you've always got new beginnings. Since it is in Sagittarius, that's a lot of like room for adventure and like new experiences and, you know, even new information coming in at this time, right? Because Mercury and Neptune are really still active at this time. So don't be surprised if it brings you some new information. But because it is in Sag, there's a lot of newness going on. And I think people are feeling a little bit bolder and wanting to try new things and involving yourself in things that maybe you know, hadn't thought about, or like surprised yourself. There's a lot of elevation that can happen from this new moon, okay? And eclipses are a big deal in terms of, you know, a lot of times there are major things that shift, but eclipses aren't something that you force, right? You kind of let them happen to you. You kind of let them direct you and guide you to what the next step is. But it's really, really good. We'll talk about how this affects each one of your individual signs. For some of you guys, this will be in work. For some of you guys, relationships. We'll take a deeper look into that, okay? Now what's next? Oh, okay, December 13th. That's a big day. We've got two things happening. We've got Mars moving into Sag, and we've got Mercury moving into Capricorn. Now, Mars moving into Sag, anything moving into Sag, we're talking about that ninth house energy, right? So travel, philosophy, your belief system, the ways that you think, right? You know, when we're talking about Gemini and Sag energy, both are very much connected to information and communication, you know, but when we're talking Gemini energy, that's more like cold hard facts, information, stats, like, you know. And then when we talk about Sag energy, it's more in the philosophical way. It's kind of like that deeper learning. And so a lot of people are going to be motivated to maybe try some new things, even getting connected to people who are different from you. You might find that you are meeting people who are from different cultural backgrounds, and that's really cool for you because you're experiencing new things. Of course, travel is definitely one of the key themes. Let's see what else I have. Oh, because we're talking about Mars here, right? Mars is the planet of war, is the planet of our drive and how we kind of show our aggression. It's also the planet of sex. You know, being in Sagittarius, I think a lot of people are going to be feeling a lot more confident. I think it's a favorable transit for a lot of people, especially fire signs, feeling very, very comfortable, feeling more quick to make decisions. But it also does bring this level of not having a filter, right? Because, I mean, if you're close to a Sagittarius person, they have no filter. They just have no filter. If you are someone who does not like people telling you the truth, you don't ever want to ask your Sagittarius friend, right? Because what they will always do is be honest with you. whether it's good or bad, and they're never trying to be shady. They're never trying to hurt your feelings. They're just honest. It's like Sagittariuses remind me of children in that way, right? How children will just be so honest, you'll end up getting your feelings hurt if you're not careful. Sagittarius are the same way. So understand that communication might be a little, it might feel a little prickly if you're sensitive. And I don't think it's anything that anybody means, but that's something that can come up just with all this Sag energy, okay? Now, Mercury moving into Capricorn is really, really cool. Mercury is the planet of communication, information, all that kind of stuff. I think it's going to affect the way we communicate really well. Where, great communication, very organized in our communication. If you are someone who is an entrepreneur, I think this is a great time for you to attract clients, right? Finding new pitches or new ways of marketing yourself, that's going to be really, really good. This is also something that may affect your relationships with your parents, especially your father, because we are talking about kind of that Capricorn energy, that Saturn energy that is connected to the father. But it's a really good time in terms of communicating your next step. Again, getting those business deals off. And again, this is something that I'll look into for each sign when we get into your tarot readings. Now, on the 18th, we've got the full moon in Gemini. Gemini, she's a chatty girl. So there's going to be a lot of communication going back and forth. Sorry. A lot of communication going back and forth, information coming to you. Don't be surprised. Again, another moment where don't be surprised if there's some information coming to you. This is also, I think, a really great time if you guys have been struggling to have certain conversations with people. This might be a great time to get the words out, but you got to be careful a little bit because the very next day, Venus is going retrograde, which it's going retrograde in Capricorn. So it's going to show you where things just have not been working, things have not been vibing. Again, it's almost like we're getting so many opportunities for that with these things coming up, even with the Neptune going direct, right? It gave us this whole time to really see where we kind of make up excuses or scenarios or illusions to try to make something fit into our lives, right? Well, Venus retrograde is like another form of that, but also how we, do in our relationships with business and our relationships, in our personal lives, right? It also has a lot to do with money, right? Because Venus is connected to beauty and love and abundance. It's the planet of luxury. So it will show you where you could afford to tighten up in your relationships and where you could afford to tighten up in your finances, just so you know. Also, another little just advice, I never do significant or permanent changes during a Venus retrograde, right? So if you're talking about dyeing your hair, if you're talking about getting a new tattoo, if you're talking about getting any kind of plastic surgery, if you want a piercing, I'd probably either get that out the way if that's something I've already been thinking about before December 19th, or I would just wait, right? Venus will be retrograde from December 19th to January 29th. So I wouldn't make any big changes on my physical body. I also wouldn't go that wouldn't be the time that I'd go out and feel like I want to completely redecorate a room and spend hella money on new decor. Now, if I'm feeling a little stagnant in the energy of my house, maybe shift some things around. Sometimes you just move a plant around or a chair around, that can do something. But I wouldn't spend a whole lot of money on aesthetics in any way, on anything, my car, none of the shit, okay? Car, my body, my house, none of that. I wouldn't. Unless it's something that you've been thinking about for a while, then go for it. On the 21st of December, the sun moves into Capricorn. That is also the winter solstice, so that'll be the shortest day of the year, but that's when we jump into Capricorn season, which, is the season of adulting and rules and law and getting back on track. So have fun during this Sagittarius season, because things do tend to get a little bit serious towards the end of the year and the beginning of the next, right? I mean, we do our resolutions culturally, right, during this Capricorn season, and there's a reason for it. It's very Saturn of us. And then on the 29th, Jupiter moves to Pisces, which brings a lot of joy and a lot of excitement and actually a lot of spirituality into the mix. I think that's going to be a really, really good time, a very happy time. You know, Jupiter is very comfortable in Pisces. That is its original ruler. So it's a good time, and we will get into that again when I get into your personal videos more about how these different transits will affect you guys individually. So I hope that this was helpful for you. Just wanted to give you kind of like a heads up of some dates to keep in mind. Don't make any physical changes. That's the main thing. And just, you know, it's Sagittarius season, so have fun. It's really a season and a time of new beginnings and exploring, and really let that eclipse guide you and really be okay with the things that come from it, because it's going to be beneficial for you moving forward, even if it feels not so much in the moment. Okay, so I love you guys. Your tarot readings are going to start rolling out this week, so I will see you soon in your videos. Bye.